Hello everyone and welcome to Gearhead Entertainment. Today is Sundays with Steve and we're going to be playing level 23 of the Fall of the Trident campaign on Ludicrous, the Dwarven Forge. Sorry that I haven't been able to get a video out in the last couple of weeks. It's been a little bit busy, and last week being the 4th of July, it just kind of burned up all the time I had available. But today we're going to be playing through... I've seen some people play through it and they say it's one of the more difficult levels of the campaign. I didn't think so. I thought this one was, it's kind of tricky at first, but it's not the most difficult by far. I'm not sure I'd even put it in the top 10. So we'll go ahead and play through it. I'll give you guys some tips and tricks, and hopefully we should get through it without any real issues. In my play testing, I didn't have too many problems. So hopefully it shouldn't give you guys too much grief either. The big thing we're going to be dealing with is just the fact that we're limited by gold. So go ahead and save. You know how I do it: save early, save often. It's always easier to restart from a checkpoint. I am going to slow down the gameplay. Again, if they're going to give you the ability to use it, I'm going to use it, especially since they make things as difficult as they are. Now, I recommend taking most of your heroes, clearing out this giant. I do split off a couple extra, and the reason is because there are 3 passes that the enemy can come at us from, and I'd like to wall off all 2 out of 3, and then heavily fortify the 3rd. So there's one here to the left. We're going to use our Hessiers. I'm going to take one. I'm going to have to deal with that troll in a second, but let's get this wall started, and let's go kill that troll. One of the things we're limited by is that our builders are also our army, so that makes things a little bit difficult. But anyway, so we've got this cave on the left walled off. I'm going to take this other Hessier that I have. This is 2 out of 3. He's going to build a dock. We're not going to get that many extra resources from fishing, but any little bit will help. Let's see here. Let's get the dock going. And then we have, like I said, we have 2 more cave entrances. So one is directly north of our heroes. You can kind of see it right now. I'm just trying to move things in place. But it's in the top left of the screen. And then I'm going to move our Hessier over. Let's deal with this troll. There are a couple of myth units defending the other town center. I recommend taking the one that's farther forward. It's just easier to build around. You have a little bit more space. It's quicker to get to the main cave entrance. But at any rate, we have another entrance all the way over here to the right. Man, I have no resources. That is wonderful. Okay, so we need to get this, we need to get the town center up so that we can get more workers because I am starved of resources. Anyway, let's send our heroes through. Before we wall this off, there is a small section, we're just going to break through, we're going to claim a couple of relics, and we're going to get out and wall it off behind us. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and get that process started because, trust me, it's going to take a while to get this built with one guy. Okay, there are some imprisoned dwarves. In my playtests, they usually just die. I don't think there's a way to save them per se, but we can go through and destroy some of these statues. They don't really do anything, it's just fun to destroy them. And then I would go ahead and snag these 3 relics, especially Ship of Fingernails. It's just going to be a food trickle. The idea here is that we can slowly get a favor trickle and a food trickle. It's not going to be much, but again, every little bit helps, and it's not like we have to go that far out of the way for these relics. Go ahead and bring them back, and then you see we have this 3rd cave. That's the one I'm going to fortify. I'm just going to make a choke point out of it. Sometimes it's more beneficial to get a full wall. Other times it's beneficial to use a choke point. I do want to say I have seen a couple of people block off these cave entrances with gold deposits. I don't like doing that for a couple of reasons. One, it feels a little cheesy. You wouldn't have been able to do it in the original game, and I know I wouldn't have been able to speed up or slow down the game either, but I don't know, something about it, I don't like it as well. Also, those gold deposits are going to be valuable later, and I can't be mining through the wall that I'm creating here. I have to keep that up, and I can't be spending an ungodly amount of favor wasting mines. So I just don't like that. And 3, you can accomplish the same darn thing with regular walls. You don't actually need to use a gold mine to block off the mine entrances. Like I've seen, you can just build a wall around them, and they will funnel through the path of least resistance, which is down through the middle. It helps. I choose the middle too because they have to go the least far out of the way. Because sometimes they'll ignore a choke point if it's really far out of the way. But if you leave it pretty central, they're more likely to take it, which means that we can funnel them in the direction we want. We can create little bottlenecks where even if we're a few men down, we can still win, and we can put up towers. So at any rate, let's see. Just gonna go ahead and save like it did. We're starting to get some villagers going. I'm gonna go ahead and take these guys, these gatherers, and I'm gonna retask them to wood. We have enough dwarves going to kind of create, so we can keep, it's self-sustaining essentially. I think it's about 3 or 4 dwarves is self-sustaining, and we have 3, 2 of which are heroes, and we have a gold reserve. So gold isn't as critical, wood really is. We need a temple, we need a barracks, we need to be able to get some troops out. So that's what I'm going to focus on. Also, I'm going to need more houses because we're going to be butting up against our population pretty quick. Let's see here. So I'm going to put another wall just like that. And I'm going to put a little wing like that. So they kind of have to hook back on themselves if they want to attack us now, as soon as I get this up. Which buys us more time to reposition. And if we use a gate, we can flank them in our own choke point, which is really convenient. They have to follow the contours of our walls. We do not. So that's pretty convenient there. Let's go ahead. I've got everything slowed down because, just getting started, it is so much easier if you can go slow. It's easier to kind of target different units. It's easier to micromanage. And getting started, micromanaging is probably going to be your biggest advantage here. That's the one thing that makes this level honestly easier than it was in the original campaign, because you can slow it down, because you can manage your units a bit better. Let's see, let's go ahead and take care of these infantry. Our heroes are not as strong against infantry, so we want to take them out first. Well, I guess you can do that, or you can target the myth units first because they'll die quicker. In this case, I'm going to go for the infantry. I can use 1 or 2 heroes, like 1 or 2 of the good heroes, Ajax or Chiron, to just eliminate these trolls really quickly, and the rest of my Hessiers can be focusing on the other unit. That might hurt though. Okay, miss. We're good. Just keep tasking trolls, keep tasking dwarves and villagers, and that is honestly the lion's share of getting started. I'm going to start with Hessiers, because I have the temple going and I have enough food and gold, but I'm eventually going to train to the Godi. That's another reason this level gets easier, is because you get ranged hero units, and you can pelt enemy myth units from behind your wall, which is really nice. So we're going to get those going. Honestly, it'll probably be a mix. You're just going to want to lean really heavily into heroes this match. They are going to send a lot of champion soldiers at you, but they're going to send a lot more myth units. So the heroes are going to be the big damage dealers. Let's see. Let's get another temple up. Actually, let's go ahead. Let's get the Hall of Heroes, or the Hall of Thanes. I think it's Hall of Heroes. Hall of Thanes is an upgrade. Right. That'll be our Godi. And I've been sitting on this long enough. I think there's 3 fish. So go ahead and train 3 fishing ships. Any more than that, you're just wasting wood. And we're not going to be a huge shortage for wood, but late game, you are going to be running out of trees. So, depending on how many Godi you train, you may want to preserve every little bit of wood that you can. Let's see. It would be nice to get some Valkyrie for healing, but I don't know. My problem with Norse myth units is that you don't have a reliable source of favor. So I'm a little bit more hesitant to train myth units as the Norse. Let's go ahead and start fishing. I'm sorry I couldn't be here last week, by the way. Again, 4th of July just got in the way. Things were crazy busy. I hope you guys had a good 4th. I had a blast. All the family got together except for my younger brother who had to work, which sucked, but everybody else had a good time. We got to see some fireworks in our local, in our own small town. I was a little bit disappointed there. I thought they might have gone a little bit above and beyond since it was the 250th, but I mean, I saw the national one on TV, and holy cow, we outdid ourselves there. So I guess that makes up for it. God, America is just the best country on earth. It's spectacular. So hopefully you guys had a good time. I'm still kind of picking out on all the leftover food from the 4th. I've got like a pack of Oreos here that I'm trying not to dive into because you pick up the sound of the microphone, so it's not good for audio quality, but they're calling to me. Yeah, hopefully you guys had a good time. It's not like America's going to turn 250 again, so if you didn't, that sucks. Too bad for you. I'm running a little low on wood. I've got plenty of people harvesting, or not food. I've got plenty of people harvesting food, but it's a little bit slow. It's probably good. Well, it's because I'm training all the Hessiers. When I start reaching my max population, food will start going up, but it's just a little bit tedious because it makes it hard to get upgrades. I'm going to go ahead. The hero dwarves are convenient because they work as gatherers, but they're kind of like free population units, and you can kind of move them around to kind of boost different resources. It's 2 free dwarves. So that's pretty nice. We've got 7 already. They don't count to the total count at the top of the screen, so you can move them around and still have plenty on the original resource. They don't. It's not like they tip the scale of the game per se, but they do help. So, and every little bit. Let's see. 7 on wood, 9 on food, 9 on gold. Almost there. I don't think I'm gonna have enough population to do the full 20 villagers on each resource. I mean, you certainly get a lot more resources that way, but there's only 2 town centers to work with, so we're kind of limited. Go ahead and stop training dwarves. 4 more villagers should do it. And we got a good size army, so when they do come to attack us, we should be in good shape. I'd like to be able to turn my guard tower into a sentry tower. Sorry, sentry tower into a guard tower. That'd be nice. I'd like to get a little bit of extra arrow support, but currently these heroes should be enough. Especially if we can start getting upgrades from the Dwarven Forge. This level has the possibility for the highest amount of upgrades, because you can get the Dwarven Forge through Thor, and that gets you 3 different upgrades. And then you can get the Dwarven Forge through the dwarves, and those get you 3 more upgrades. So you're not just 1 tier above iron, you're 2 tiers above iron. It does not do enough, I will tell you that. It does get pretty hectic at the end, but it is pretty helpful. And it is pretty nice. I wish I had the opportunity to use them anywhere else, but they only show up here. Alright, we got 10 on food. I guess the rest can be tapped to wood. And once all the deer are gone, we'll pivot towards farming. Right now I've got them on huntables because you gather, I think it's fastest on huntables, then berry bushes, then farms. Fish, I think, are pretty comparable to farms. I'd have to check. But you're definitely going to get food faster from hunting, and we do need a little bit of food since I'm spending it all on Hessiers. Okay, our dwarves are done, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a gold mine. Or at least they're almost done. I mean, you can see how little is left there. That's where the lion's share of our gold is going to come through until we can push forward and capture more gold mines, and we're not quite ready to do that. And even then, those gold mines go quick. So just being able to drop a dwarven mine is going to be really useful. I would like to get this armory. I've got enough gold that I can get a few upgrades, so I would like to get the armory. Okay. Alright, 10 on wood. dwarves on gold, please. Alright, now one of the other advantages of 4 is that as we get more upgrades, we train more dwarves, which I don't really need them, but I'll use the extra villagers, and if you need them, you can always convert them into berserkers. Let's go ahead and save. I'm in a good spot. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm not ready to push, but I feel pretty stable, so it's a good place to be in. And the other thing, since we've got a forge, now if we can get enough food, we can advance. Now, I do need to get like 800 food, and I'm a long way away from that, but I can advance, which is the important thing. Okay, let's see. Somehow I have 11 on food. I'll deal with that later. I'm debating whether I get my upgrades first or I advance first. Because, like, if I advance, I can get champion, or not champion units, I can get, like, heavy units, which is nice. But, you know, I can just spend those resources on getting, like, dragon scale shields and you know, all sorts of late game upgrades. So because you don't have to wait to advance to get the upgrade to the store, which is also really nice. We can just get them at any age, which is convenient. I'm gonna go ahead and speed things up a bit. I don't need to micromanage at the moment, and it's taking a while. Yeah, I think the Goaty are going to have to pull their weight. I mean, I think they're going to pull their weight. They're able to hit the myth units over the wall, and that's really nice. I need my heroes not to get completely annihilated either by the myth units or by the remaining human soldiers. So hopefully, it's not an issue. Hopefully the Goaty solve that problem. It's weird, you know, because the Norse didn't used to have a hero, like a ranged hero unit. The closest they had was Regenleaf, who we have not encountered yet, but she can throw spears. So that was nice, but she was one hero. So having the Goaty, having the ability to take down ranged units, take down flying units or take down units at a range as like a hero unit, that's very convenient. Because the axe throwers, they wouldn't always get stuff done. You almost needed to save flaming weapons for something like a Nidhogg, just because, I mean, they're just normal infantry units. Let's see. Let's keep building houses. I would like to get max population. That would be good. I'm not getting wood very fast, which is odd. You know, I thought I had a pretty good wood income, but I think, you know, because I'm training a bunch of Goaty too, that's gotta be it. Alright, and another giant attack. So you can see we're kind of funneling them. Now, one mistake I made, and you may want to change this, is that I funnel them right to my town center. But it's not going to be a huge deal. We've got a big enough army, we should be able to clean this up. It's just going to be a little tedious in the meantime. Yeah, see, that's not really a problem. I may have lost a couple of villagers, but I was a little bloated anyways. You know, there were probably some villagers that could afford to go. Alright. Let's just make sure everybody is harvesting where they should be. And get another mine because there's so little gold. One thing you can do if you don't have enough resources, you can just right-click on an upgrade, and it will train as soon as you do have enough resources for it. Kind of like auto-training a villager or human unit or something. You can auto-train an upgrade, which is somewhat convenient. Let's see. I don't really need the hero dwarves to be gathering anymore, so I'm going to use them in a fight. Because they're not terrible as heroes. They're not, like, the best, but they're not terrible. And when we inevitably do go for a push, they're going to be... I'm going to be using them as well. They can soak up more damage than most of your normal heroes, so we'll definitely use that. Okay, we got all the houses. Let's go ahead and build the town center. And I want to train a Valkyrie so I can hopefully heal up some of these guys. The more I heal, the less I have to retrain. Again, I'm normally hesitant to... Ooh, there is a giant here. I'm normally hesitant to train myth units, but in this case, I think it'll help. The Norse, actually, though, I would say they have some of the strongest myth units. just pound for pound. Like, fire giants are ridiculous. They tear through everything. Other Mythic Age myth units do not stand a chance. Frost giants, they can freeze enemies before they can get an attack off, and if you have enough of them, you're just freezing and hitting, and there's nothing the enemy can do. They're just constantly stun locked. The Einherjar are completely busted. I'm not going to be using frost giants, by the way. I'm going to be getting... I like to focus on, not Forseti, Bragi, because he benefits my berserkers and my infantry, and my heroes, which I'm going to need. But the Einherjar are ridiculous because they buff each other and they buff everybody around them. So you get a few Einherjar and suddenly everybody's doing massive amounts of damage. The Norse do have really ridiculously good myth units. It's just that the favor is a little bit harder to come by unless you're playing really, really aggressive or unless you're constantly under attack. Sometimes the dailies that I play, sometimes the dailies have, they have like a little... they put in these little, not exactly challenges, they put in these little new rules, these kind of twists into how the game is played, and one of the ones they do is like, well, okay, myth units take twice as long to train, but they remove the favor cost, and it's like, okay, depending on how you play the Norse, that doesn't even matter, because if you get somebody like Hel, then training time is reduced to basically 0. And 2 times 0 is 0, so you're still training them basically instantaneous. It ends up not mattering. You can just spam late age myth units. Even something crazy like a mid-tier age myth unit, like a Jotun, you remove the favor cost. It's just 300 food, which is not that bad in the late game, especially if you've got like a ton of different farms and you've been sitting on resources for a while. It's very doable. It's one of my favorite twists to a level. Okay, let's go ahead and kill that giant before I return. My Valkyrie can keep healing people. Let's just keep going. I'll just get a few more gatherers. I need to get to the heroic age, and right now food is what's holding me back. Instead of summoning in a new gold mine, I think I can harvest from this one without the enemy murdering my dwarves. I may be wrong, but I think I can swing it. And I've not technically chosen Bragi yet, but I kind of auto-queued him, so he should be going any second now. Let's see here. Just keep getting upgrades, and it's looking good. It's looking good. If you set yourself up right in the classical age, you can go almost instantly from the heroic to the mythic age. You have to spend a little bit longer in the classical age than most people, but by the time you hit the mythic age, you're ready to build an army, you're ready to push. Alright, let's keep training. I don't need the dwarves, but I will take the better upgrades. Let's get a barracks going. I'll be able to buy heavy infantry from the barracks. Everything's looking good, looking good. This level really isn't that bad. It's a little bit slow to start. You do feel a little bit cramped starting out. You know, there's just not a ton of build space. And then on top of that, the gold is limited. So you do have to worry about that a bit. Right now, I don't have the favor to train a new gold mine even if I wanted to. So we're going to have to push forward a bit, which I think I should be able to do. But you're going to have to push a bit. I do have plenty of wood. I want to go ahead and probably get rid of that Kraken. He's just taking up command points. It's mainly, though, that you're just kind of cramped and that you don't have a ton of gold. Honestly, getting hit early and often is not as big of a deal in this. You can choke point them, and most of what they hit you with early on is myth units, which you can easily overpower with your heroes. So, not that big of a deal. And they don't, they have the potential to hit you with boats. They never do, which is nice. So you can just fish and not worry about the consequences. Okay, they are in the Mythic Age, so we're a little bit behind, but not too bad. Go ahead and I'm going to get the levy units because that will that'll help me train faster, and I'll need that because once we do decide to push, you're going to have to be constantly training units. So you do want to make sure you've got a good economy built up. They are going to have just an absolute metric ton of myth units, and no matter what you do, your army is going to get wiped out if you don't constantly have a supply of units reinforcing. So we're going to need a lot of unit production buildings, and we're going to need a strong economic base here. So just be ready for that. Okay. See, that's kind of what I was worried about with the dwarves, but I've got enough gold. We'll retrain them if needed. I don't care for the fact that they just summoned a rock giant. They playing as Loki, and so Loki can auto-train units if they do enough damage with their... I think infantry contributes like 0.1, and then Hessiers contribute like 0.5, I think is how it works. I'd have to go back and check. But they can just summon stuff on you, which is kind of annoying. I mean, obviously it didn't last that long, but it was annoying. Let's throw the dwarves over there. Let's throw these dwarves over there. And let's go get some food. Okay, so I lost a few dwarves, but not a crazy amount. Probably build up a couple sentry towers. I do need to finish getting my upgrades. I want to get to the Mythic Age, but let's... what the heck? I'm close. I'm debating whether I just get the gold and do it now, or whether I try and get the rest of my upgrades. Let's see. Let's retask those guys. I guess ran out of trees over there. Basically ran out. You can see there's a few up top, but it's not really enough to focus on. Get the iron weapons. I mean, that probably set me back gold-wise, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but we're training enough, we should be alright. Let's see. And they do get the armory upgrades. I couldn't remember if they got the heavy infantry upgrade or not. It does not look like it. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but they are going to be hitting like a truck with the tier 4 armory upgrades. And we'll get Weapon of the Gods. Alright. I did not need flaming weapons there, but I'm going to use it because I want to tear through these guys quickly and push forward. We're not going to have a ton of time left on that gold mine, and I've got enough of an army that I can afford to do this. So there's the gold mine. I don't see anybody off to the right. Oh, there is somebody. Okay, let's take down this tower and then I'll go deal with them. It's just a ballista. Alright, Alright, I want to pull back. There's a little bit of unit production off to the left over here that we'll go ahead and take out. And also, I don't want to get too far forward, because if I do, then the enemy's going to hit me again, and I'm going to be undefended. And that choke point cannot stop an attack. It can funnel an attack, it cannot stop an attack. So I want to be close enough until I'm ready to cut off the enemy troops. Let's see, let's drop this over here. I'm going to go ahead and drop the dock for 2 reasons. Number 1, I can use the favor, and number 2, I don't need them training anything on me. Alright, and let's pull back. Okay, basically out of wood, I'm going to move over, because there's plenty of wood off to the left over here. Actually, let's take out the bears first. I don't need the bears attacking the villagers. Let's see, there's berry bushes. These guys can harvest the berry bushes. You guys can harvest the gold. We're getting there. We are getting there. Let's get another Valkyrie. Heal up a bit. Again, at this point, it's just getting upgrades, and I would recommend getting as many upgrades as you can before pushing, just because we are going to be hit by a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and build the hill fort. I'm going to need one of those to advance. And honestly, it'll be nice to have the extra arrow coverage. I don't know why they do that. I will say they aren't as good about that as they were in the old game. In the old game, they were pretty good about dropping off resources once the resource was expended. In this game, they kind of just hang around sometimes. I don't know why they do that. Let's see, we're just going to have this guy scout around. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of resistance leading up to the forge. I don't think there's anybody off to the right. Okay, this is a tough decision. Fire giants are pretty goated. But I think I'm going to go with Tyr. The Fimbulwinter will help us a bit. It will take out. There's a town center that we need to take out. And more than that, there's he gives more upgrades. I think he focuses more on infantry. And I can tell you right now, we're not getting any cavalry. And I probably wouldn't use fire giants anyways, because it's like 300 gold per fire giant. That's a lot of gold to spend. I'd rather spend that on heroes. It's a lot of gold and a lot of favor, and I am tearing through favor. I've got like 500 right now, but it's all going to get used. Let's take out this giant. There shouldn't be a whole lot up here. Yeah, there's a tower. I'll go ahead and take care of the tower. That's about it. There might be a dock up here. Not even. And there's the Allied Dwarven Forge. There's nothing over here to the right. Let's go ahead and bring them back. Just in time, too. We do have a little bit of reinforcements here that'll help. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Fimbulwinter. So there used to be, I thought there used to be a town center to the north of the map. It looks like they've removed that. Not that it matters a ton. It's still incredibly heavily fortified and hard to assault. Let's see. Don't just sit around. Make me some farms. Tore through our walls, but they still died pretty quick. So I guess that's the important thing. I'm going to rework our choke point here a bit. Oh, okay. Get the walls fixed. I am going to need another hill fort up again. They really do like tearing down sentry towers. More than, like, you know, the walls are inconvenient, but they will target those sentry towers. Honestly, a lot more than they normally do. Let's go ahead and group those all up in group 3. The other reason I wasn't going to go for Balder, Baldur's Mythic Age power is Ragnarok. And the problem with Ragnarok is that it converts all of your villagers into heroes, which is fine for a last-ditch effort or if you're just sitting on ungodly amounts of resources. But if you need the constant unit production, then Ragnarok isn't going to help. It's going to handicap you, and we are going to need that constant unit production. So I don't think Ragnarok is going to be worth it. Let's see. I think Advanced Fortifications might be the last upgrade. Let's go ahead and get some wood. So those 2 gold mines, I'll go ahead and have my dwarves harvest from that once they're ready. I can't build a wall in this section, I can't build towers or anything like that, so we're just going to have to... That's inconvenient for 2 reasons. It's not just that I can't push forward and fortify, it's also that my units are going to have to train from farther back and move a long way up. And that's fine, we'll work with it, but it means that I want to be ready before I do anything hasty. I'm going to take this Jormunelvar, Jormunelvar. I'm going to go ahead and get it killed off. There's a couple others up here. No point in sitting on the command points, and it can generate a little bit of favor. I think there's 2 of them up there, so mine's probably going to die. Let's get the upgrades. I don't appreciate that the ballistics can fire over the rock wall. I mean, I get for game mechanics, the game thinks that it's just a wall, but it's supposed to be... It's not just like a wall with a top to it, it's a cave. You know, they're inside a cave, so it doesn't make a ton of sense, but whatever. Whatever. Let's build some towers. And I am about ready to push. I will probably cut out some parts of this just because taking the town center in the playthroughs that I've done, it takes a while. And so, you know, if there's boring stuff, I may cut that out afterwards. But nothing too crazy. I'll leave the important stuff in. I mean, so much of this has been riveting gameplay, so... I want to get this tower built, and then I think it's probably time to push. We have all the upgrades we're gonna get. We have a good amount of unit production if we need it. I think it's time to push. Actually, hang on. It's been a minute. Let's go ahead and save, and I'm gonna wait just a second because I guarantee you there's a giant attack coming. Guarantee it. I'm going to wait for the next giant attack, and let's go ahead and auto-train some units while we're waiting. There it is, see? I don't know why they moved off to the right. They never move off to the right. See, now we kill these guys, though, then we go for the push. And the rest of our units aren't too far forward, so they can join up pretty easily. Now I want to go through, I want to take out as many of their buildings as I can. Houses don't matter a ton other than just getting you favor. The enemy never really seems to respect things like population. And they have a massive army ready to go. We're just going to use flaming weapons to tear through this right here. But the temple, if you destroy the temple, they will not rebuild it. So it would be good to take that down. And it would be a good thing to take down the barracks. Let's go ahead and group up the rest of these new recruits. So this is the part where I might, again, so this town center up to the left, this is probably what takes the longest. Well, I shouldn't say take the longest, but it takes a lot of time
it's kind of boring to watch. It's very much a Pyrrhic thing, you know. I'm going to train a bunch of units, a bunch of them are going to die, I'm going to train more units, a bunch of them are going to die, so it's not really worth it. And I'm officially out of favor for gold, so let's go ahead and harvest from there. Yeah, so the problem isn't so much the myth units they throw at you, but there are a lot of human units, and the human units take a long time to kill. So I'll probably cut this portion out and just fast forward to when it's almost done. And there. See, to you, you didn't see me lose a bunch of units. You didn't see the close to half hour that this took me. But that's okay, we're almost done. And they can't train any units from this area, and more importantly, I can build here. It's not just the town center, though the town center will help. I will take the extra population. It's the fact that... Wow, okay, I really just have no favor. It's the fact that it's close to the front, and I can train unit production up here, which is gonna matter, because as soon as we go to take the forge, we're gonna get hit by an absolute onslaught. Now, I think you can wrap your way around from behind. I think you can do that and maybe focus on taking out the rest of their base before you push the Dwarven Forge. I'm not going to do that. Partially because if I do that, then they're going to hit my main base uncontested. And partially because I don't know, it's going to take a lot more time that I don't want to take. I'm ready to be done with this level. As soon as you take the forge, you get a countdown, so do bear that in mind. You kind of have to maintain the forge and protect it until the end of that countdown. One of the buildings has to remain standing. And I kind of got gypped in one of my playthroughs. I made it all the way through the countdown. It gave me the victory screen, but then they destroyed the forge like right at the end of the level. And so although it said victory, although I survived the timer, it counted as a defeat. So just do be aware if you're down to the wire, you may have to do this a couple times. But that's okay. That's okay. We're going to build couple of halls of heroes. Let's use a little bit of guys just to kind of cover the flank. And as soon as I can get unit production built up here, then I'll be able to start training from up here, and it'll just be faster reinforcements. That's the main thing. I didn't even really mean to push this far forward. I think as soon as you kill the fire giants, it starts the timer. There's some fire giants in the middle that we have to kill. Let's go ahead and save. I am in a good spot, but I don't want to have to restart all the way back if I have to. These guys can destroy the armory. I need more build space. That is a lot of people. Oh. There's a lot of people. Let's go ahead and use... I'm going to use flaming weapons because these guys are out for blood and I need the extra damage. It's just crazy how fast they train things. Ludicrous does not care about population. It does not care about... It does not care about resources. It's just like every single unit we can throw at you, we will. I think up to the game's like maximum command points of like, I think it caps out. It used to cap out around 300. I don't remember where it caps out now. So like 600 maybe? Why do I have raiding cavalry? I don't know why I have raiding cavalry. Go ahead, I'm going to destroy these fire giants and I'm going to get the mission started. Now I think you can build some defenses around here. However, you don't have time, so just keep reinforcing with units. The enemy tends to focus more on my heroes than on the Dwarven Forge. So, oh, there's the raiding cavalry. Let's replace that. All right. I don't know why you're not chopping down trees. You should chop down some trees. And you should make a farm. I feel like I should have more units here than I do. I mean, these guys, I expect those guys. I told it to train over there, so that doesn't surprise me. But I thought I would have more heroes in the area. I guess I'll keep sending them forward. I just feel like I should have more units here. I don't know why I don't. Alright, so I've got the forge, and now we can get some different upgrades here. And I'm going to get them all, one from each forge so they train faster, because we're going to need those upgrades as soon as possible. It looks worse than it is. It looks much worse than it is. Our units are going to be the main target, so don't worry too much. Let's go ahead and train more Hessiers. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't look like they have anything to hit with the Fimbulwinter. Okay, let's kill... So, one of the advantages of Loki is that even if you're fighting him, he trains myth units from every single Norse pantheon, and that includes the Fenrir. Fafnir. I'll get the right myth unit. And the good thing about the Fafnir... Okay, so we got a lot sitting back there. Don't care for that. The thing about the Fafnir is that... Sorry, I'm just grouping up everything into one big collective unit so that I can train and send it all up here. The good thing about Fafnir is you kill it, you get 300 gold. And so we're getting free gold because these guys decided to auto-train a Fafnir, which, I mean, they didn't really have a ton of control over, but I'm going to need the gold. It is going to get tight here, because you can see I'm already down to like 9,800. I don't really have the favor to call on another gold mine, and we only have one more gold mine on the map. Let's go ahead. I don't need a bunch of human units, but I'll train Axemen. Why the hell are you guys just sitting there? I'll go ahead and train the Axemen because they're ranged units. Alright, this is our last gold mine. Also, just be aware you're going to get attacked from two directions. Every now and again, they'll bring around a ballista. You just need to send something to kill it so it doesn't target the mine, or the forge. Your heroes do a pretty good job of holding the line, especially if you can get them down to the rivers. That is the biggest thing. I would prefer it if they didn't shoot Chiron. That would be wonderful. Looks like they're gonna. I'm going to go ahead and take Eitri and Brokk and bring them up to the front. Oh, another Fafnir. Let's kill that quick. And that's more gold for me. I wish they could auto-train more. I'm not afraid of a Fafnir. I only see dollar signs. Let's go ahead and kill these trolls. And of course more ballistas. Lovely. No, that's unnecessary. You don't need to do that. I guess if you want to make this a little bit easier on yourself, you can probably just train an army and wipe out their main base before trying to take the forge. Again, I don't recommend it. It takes a lot longer. You leave yourself unprotected, but it is something you could do if you wanted. If you could pull it off, it'd make this part a lot easier. I think at some point, if you do that, they get reinforcements from outside the mountains. They might get that anyways, but, you know, I mean, I'm holding the line, and I'll be able to hold the line, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and use flaming weapons. I've got the favor for it, and if I can take down any of their unit production, especially infantry production, that would be great. I just, I really don't want to deal with the human units because those guys are the ones shredding my heroes. The myth units I can tank. The myth units I can deal with. It's the human units that are causing me grief. Yeah, just make sure you've got a small enough force off to your left that can deal with any counterattacks, particularly the ballistas are big deals. Trolls aren't going to do a ton to your forges, but the ballistas are siege units. Let's see. In theory, it shouldn't be too hard to drop a fortress, but man, it doesn't want to drop. Okay, is there a reason you guys aren't chopping any wood? Not really. See, this is the part where we're starting to run out of resources. You can see I'm down to 6,500 gold. I'm down to 5,800 food, and I'm probably producing more food than anything else. Wood, we're all right. We're not using a ton of wood right now, but also we're about to run out of trees, so that will hurt us. Get flaming weapons again. That would be wonderful. Flaming weapons is such a powerful god power. It really turns the tide, and the bigger the army you have, the more effective it is. It is just a delightful god power. I think the Chinese currently have like an electric weapon, which is similar. I don't know if it's better or worse. I just don't play the Chinese enough. My general opinion is that it's just kind of worse. Well, no, I'll say this. They probably made it better, but only to justify it being a total copy. Because the lightning weapons, and also they have a dragon that's basically a mid-hog type god power. So it does feel like they just copied the Norse in a couple areas there. They got lazy. So, didn't really care for that as much, but I mean, it's a good enough god power, I guess. I just kind of prefer the Norse version. How tanky is that fortress? Good grief. Okay. Sometimes the enemy pathing is weird too. Like if they wanted, they probably could have pushed and taken down the forge at any point. But they kind of go back and forth and they target specific heroes, and so, I don't know. It's a little odd. Oof. See, we are running out of we're running out of resources fast. Now I've only got a minute left, which is good. But I'm running out of resources fast. Oh, yep, see, there's the giant reinforcements. Now, we should still be alright, but... I mean, I'm out of wood. I'm running out of gold. So, this is basically... We're gonna go ahead... I'm gonna sell off my wood, because... Oh, God, the exchange rates are so terrible on that. But I need... any amount of gold that I can get. This is it. This is the final push. This is all she wrote. Thank goodness I've got one last cast of flaming weapons. We got 8 seconds. This is where it does get a little bit tricky because they just overwhelm you with sheer numbers. But we made it. So that is the Dwarven Forge on Ludicrous difficulty. Hopefully you guys have a little bit of an easier time of it. Again, I don't actually think it's the hardest level in the campaign. It's just kind of, there's a lot of reinforcements. We're coming to some of the hardest ones. Well of Erd is going to be crazy. But this one isn't too bad. We just kind of have to, have a really, really good economy before going in. So, thank you guys for watching. It has been a little bit delayed, but I'm hoping to get the next couple of videos out on time. But even if I don't manage that, I'll try and get something. And Dean keeps putting out stuff, so he's got, I don't know when his next Clone Wars thing is, but he's got the Clone Wars, he's got D&D, so definitely go check those out. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.
Just